Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Draco here, aka the Fox, always thinking outside the box. And today I wanted to welcome you guys to a new video series that I'm creating called Fox Person Logic. Okay, now what this video series is going to entail is basically all the years that I've been playing Halo, a little bit of Call of Duty, Destiny, any first-person shooter in general. I've played a mass array of them, man. I can't even, keep it. I can't even count them. Anyways, I'm compiling all this information up, and I'm going to go ahead and try to share a wealth of that knowledge with you guys as far as on how to get a basic, solid foundation on how to play just an array of multiple first-person shooters. Particularly in this one, we're going to start with the Call of Duty series, and then as games come out and I get a little more savvy at different games, I'll go ahead and share that knowledge with you. But I wanted to go ahead and start with the with telling you the reason why I came up with this. Okay. I'm gonna give you an example, and excuse me if I cuss a little bit in here, but it's just me being 100 with y'all. Okay, have you ever been in that lobby and you're in there just smacking the fuck out of anybody that you come across? I mean, your shots on, man. You getting all these kill streaks lined up and all this other stuff. Y'all is smacking motherfuckers, man. And then the next thing you know, you hear something along the lines of enemy hater or something inbound, and you're just like, what? Where did he get this, man? Where does motherfucker get all this stuff? I'm killing, I'm slaying this team. And you look down and you see that one dude that's like 2 and 36 or 5 and 15. And then at the end of the game, when you ask them, dude, like, what happened, man? Like, what's going on? Where everybody can't be Market J. Everybody can't be Prince Lightskin. Everybody can't be such and such. Listen, man, this is for a video series for all you guys out there that make those silly ass excuses about making, trying to get camos and stuff like that. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, let's be real, there are some people out there who really are not that savvy at things, and it's not that they actually suck. It's either A, they don't have the experience, or B, they're just not making smart decisions. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and break down different things in this video series that I got coming out, and we're gonna go ahead and start off with the Black Ops series, like I was saying earlier. And I'm just going to go down basically the different types of play styles, and then certain guns and stuff like that you should probably use with certain perks and things like that. Okay, again, it's just my advice. It is not something that you have to do. Okay, everybody's style is different, everybody plays different. Some people are better at other things than other people are. Okay, that is just what it is. All right, but this is just, again, some stuff that's coming from my mind that I see when I run around the map and I'm doing my thing, and I look down and I see that one cat on my team 2 and 32. Anyways, without further ado, here we go. Yo, what up, peeps? Boy Dre here. All right, man, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through these roles real quick so y'all can really get a grasp and good understanding on like where you should be at as far as playing this game. Okay, where to start out at as far as you beginner dudes, some of you intermediate people who got like, I played COD, but I ain't really like that into it because I couldn't figure out certain things. Okay, first let me go ahead and explain something to you though. Before you get into any first-person shooter, you should really realize that you need to go ahead and find the role that you're trying to play into. Okay, once you understand the role that you want to play, the type of person that you the type of role play you like to play as far as your style, your play style, whatever, that's what's going to actually help you in any of these first-person shooters. You got to figure out what you're really good at, what's your niche. Okay, I think it's broken down into like 4 different categories. I like to call 1 the pusher, 2 the fox person, 3 the hybrid, and last but least is the locker person. Okay, I'll go into depth as far as who they are down the line and stuff like that when we get to other things, but let's go ahead and start with the pusher. Okay, the pusher is the person that's main focus is to basically apply pressure to the team, the enemy team, 24/7. Okay, they're always in that person's face 24/7. They're always just like, damn, man, every time I turn around, this motherfucker's in my face. He keeps killing me. He's got a quick killing gun, something along the lines of different weapons that I can like get in and get out. Okay, we're gonna get to exactly what he does, those type of weapons and stuff like that later on. But you should be aware that this person is going to be using a lot of rush routes. They're going to be in that enemy's face 24/7, just being a real pain in their ass. Okay, usually they're very quick thinking, so they can get themselves out of any strategy, and they can be particularly mostly your quote unquote your clutch players, man. They really are just on some Market J, slant Prince Lightskin, slant Optic Scumpy, slant all these crazy ass pro players. They got that shit on lock, man. And I don't really recommend anybody who isn't pretty savvy to the game to go ahead and try to jump straight into a rush route type person, a Russian pusher type person, okay? I think that's for more of your COD players that have been playing this for a couple years, or maybe been, you know, previous Call of Duties, or not even that, just they're really into the game. Like, they know what's going on. They got really good map awareness. They know when to push and when not to push. That is the extreme thing now. That is rule number one, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all real quick some weapons of and classes and stuff like that that I think that you should probably see. You'll see most of your pushing people have, okay? For starters, let's go ahead and exit out all this stuff right here. The primary weapons you'll probably see them rocking is probably something like along the lines of a submachine gun, a shotgun, but most shotgun is probably more to the second along the lines of something like that, but mostly submachine guns, okay? Your submachine guns, why? Because they're quick killing things, okay? They can kill shit and get in and get out, all right? Of those submachine guns, okay, the top three that I always see people really using a lot of, that I think that personally kill people or kill me all the time quickly. Number one, hands down, the VMP, okay? Behind that is the Vesper. That can be argued, that's argumentative. They can argue back and forth on whether or not they want to do that, but those are the two top killing guns I know for sure that'll fuck your shit up quick. Behind that is the Pharaoh. I think the Pharaoh is underrated. I think it's definitely a gun that if you are deadly with your accuracy, you can really destroy people real quick, okay? Now, the shotguns, I don't really tote shotguns around a lot, but I do know people like to use the Argus. They definitely like to use this semi-automatic 205 Vareshi, or however you say that shit. They really love that shotgun, man. The automatic shotgun. The Banshee is actually pretty dope. It's just part of a new, like, it's a new shotgun that just came out. Seems like you can just destroy people with that. All right, now let's talk about attachments real quick. The attachments are very simple. You want something that's going to be able to have fast reflexes. So you want something like quick draw. You might want to throw some grip on there if you want to help with the recoil, and also something along the lines of fast mag, because you're constantly reloading real quick. Why? Because when they kill one guy, there's two, there's three, so on and so forth, and they're going to constantly be fighting people like quickly. All right. So fast mag or extended mags can be swapped out, vice versa. It depends. Sometimes people have both. You know, it just really depends on the player. Optics, again, that depends on the player. Some people like red dots, some people don't. A lot of people like iron sights. A lot of people like red dot. I just think it depends on the gun and also the player. Me, I don't need, for example, the VMP. I don't run iron sight. I run iron sights. I don't run red dot. I don't run optics. I just don't, man. I think it doesn't need it. But that's just, again, my personal opinion, okay? The thing that I also wanted to point out is, guys, try to put on the attachments that help aid the gun in its weak areas, okay? So, for example, if this gun sucks at weakness as far as accuracy, you want to throw on quick draw, and notice that bar is building up. Throw on stock, throw on some grip, you know what I'm saying? So now this gun then just went to overpowered fucking beast mode, you know what I'm saying? So make sure that you got that. Another gun, I said, like I said, the Vesper and the Pharaoh, so on and so forth, okay? So those are the type of guns that you want to be playing with. That's the type of things you want to be using, okay? Quick killing guns. Perks, all right? As you notice, you got 3 different perk categories. What I particularly see a lot of people running the rush class, they're running something like Afterburner, so they can constantly be able to slide and jump and burst through the air and do whatever the hell they want to do constantly 24/7. If they're not using that, they're maybe using something like Flak Jacket so they don't get hit with a bomb. If they're on something like Nuketown where there's a lot of nades being thrown, but they want to kind of get across that map, be in that enemy space 24/7. Another perk they always use is the Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense is really good, man. It can actually lock down enemies and find them real quickly if they're just trying to clear an area out. They killed one, they killed two, and they're like, damn, man, I know there's a third dude over here. I just don't know exactly where this dude is at. Let me go ahead and use this, and I can find him right quick, okay? The last one that some people might throw on, depending on the player, how big the map is and stuff like that, they might use Ghost. If the enemy team is constantly getting UAVs, they might throw that on so they can stay under that radar or anything like that, okay? Moving on to the second area, okay? The second column of perks. Fast hands, mandatory. I don't care who you are, not unless you some dude who just automatically kind of really knows where you are. I personally think that you should always have on fast hands, period. I mean, that's just it. If you want to add a second perk to that, go ahead and add maybe Hardwire or Scavenger, okay? Those are the two that I always see a lot of people have. One, it sucks when you have to pick someone else's shitty gun up as a rush player, especially. So you want to constantly keep that ammo coming in. And let's be real, out of all these damn perks on here, out of all these guys on here, like the swap weapons faster, spawn in, starting bonus weapon, all this stuff has got like 1 or 2 sentences. Look at this damn hardwire fucking perk here. It's got a damn paragraph up here, man. So make sure that if it has a paragraph on there, you probably want to throw that on there. And I'm gonna tell you now, I use that hell of a lot more than I do scavenger and all this other stuff. Okay, I usually use fast hands followed by hardwire, and if I'm feeling froggish and I don't really need it and I'm tired of picking up people's shitty guns, I'll just run fast hands and scavenger. Okay, now moving on to the third perk. Blast suppressor, I feel like is a mandatory if you're going to be rushing 24/7. I usually see those that are really good, your advanced players, your intermediate players that are pretty good at rushing, they usually have on blast suppressor. Even an advanced player like myself get caught off guard from people utilizing this perk. This perk is extremely detrimental if you want to be stealthy, like slant, like being able to rush and get into certain positions without people really discovering you. Even with those we have on awareness, they sometimes have a harder time really going with blast suppressor and all this other stuff. And the other thing is, you're not going to be using awareness, you're not going to be using blast suppressor. I think you should really throw on tac mask. Tac mask is definitely a really good perk to have on, because let's get real, man. People get pissed off when you kill them 2 or 3 times at a time, and they'll come back and just throw a flashbang in there, or they'll throw, like, you know, not a C4, but a concussion grenade in there and stuff like that. So it should I usually, if I'm not rocking blast suppressor or tac mask, you should go ahead and rock with dead silence. Okay, dead silence is pretty good too. It keeps you stealthy. The only problem with dead silence is that's the only thing it does, is just keep your footsteps stealthy. And pretty much when you're Call of Duty, for the most part, including Black Ops 3 and so on, as far as all about who see who's first and the element of surprise, which I've talked about in a previous video. So if you're wearing a stealthy perk like this, I don't think that you should be rushing 24/7 in a class like this unless you really know what the hell you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So for a beginner player, I say blast suppressor, tac mask, and maybe awareness. I mean, because awareness keeps you understanding of when people are coming towards you and when not. Okay, I like to rock awareness on all my perks because I feel like awareness helps me when people who run past my enemy team, my teammates, they're not paying attention to who's flanking us, or they're not paying attention to a guy who they saw, the guy who they engaged in the fight initially may have snuck around and tried to come from behind and kill him. Okay, so that's all your perks in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and switch to the kill streaks. All right, so kill streaks. All right, you should be running lower to mid kill streaks if you're going to be rushing 24/7, unless you're, again, an advanced player. Okay, somebody like shout out to, again, Mark J, shout out to Prince Light Skin, Optic Scumpy, all these beast mode ass fucking players that are the shit and been doing this shit for a while, and they know exactly what they're doing. Okay, those guys can run high kill streaks with no problem, and they can do what they do, man. The same thing with not just them, but any player that really knows exactly how to play this role and has mastered it. Okay, they found a niche, they know exactly how to run, they can rock any of this stuff. I think if you're a beginner or intermediate player, you should be rocking things along the lines of UAV, counter UAV. Trust me, counter UAV is very fucking annoying. Okay, I never realized how annoying it was until I didn't rock hardwire. You have that on, it really is going to fuck with the enemy team's mind. Okay, counter UAV is good. If you really feel like the enemy is constantly on the flank behind you every time you're shooting to kill other people in that room, you're clearing rooms out, go ahead and throw a guardian down so it keeps you to have them funnel in a different way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to throw up sentry gun, that's fine, but I kind of feel like once you start tapping into the sentry gun areas and talent and stuff like that, I feel like that's more along the lines of the next class we'll go into. If you're not up in the main front of the line, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're playing mid-map, then you need to be going mid-map kill streaks. If you've noticed, they're like in the middle of the actual kill streak category. Okay, so they're rushing with they're gonna have like hardened sentry, Cerebus, rolling thunder, all that stuff like that, man. They're gonna be doing the mid to high kill streak finish. All right, so all in all, I hope this helps out tremendously. It's just a broad overview of what I call the pusher, man. So if you're a person that likes to rush, you like to be in the enemy's face 24/7, that's pretty much what you should be using as far as an overall broad perspective of perks, weapons, and kill streaks and stuff like that. Anyways, I hope this video helped out a lot. The next video, I'll be showing you how to exactly play that role while I'm in the gameplay, so you can get a better idea and a better understanding of what happens while you're in that role and actually playing that role, man. But anyways, if you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, man. I like the likes. Again, thank you for all your support, and I'll see you next time. Peace.